Hello, everyone. Thank you for those watching live and later. What is equitable distribution in family law and divorce in Georgia? That is what I'm talking about today. I'm Raluca. I'm an attorney and I provide services in family law, immigration, and estate planning. Nina Clear, who is my marketing and office manager, is here with me. We really appreciate your likes, comments, and shares because they help other people see my video.
So first things first, why don't you define equitable for us?
Equitable means fair and impartial.
So Georgia isn't 50-50.
Not at all. It is what the court, and by the court I mean the trier of fact, which usually the judge decides what is fair.
And how does the judge decide that?
There are a lot of factors, and I can give you a few examples. For example, the standard of living during the marriage, the education and vocational skills for both parties, the current income of both parties, and so on.
Okay. So is the property distribution only decided by the court or the judge?
No, the parties can come to an agreement, and many times they do. But the court will review the agreement before signing it into the decision of the court. Also in Georgia, either party can request a jury to decide the distribution, but that can delay the process.
So what does the court look at in their review?
Again, based on the word equitable, they look at what is fair and reasonable for both parties.
And is all property distributed in a divorce?
Yes, but it's important to know that not all property falls under marital property. So anything you brought into the marriage is considered yours, and some items that you obtained during the marriage would be considered separate, such as an inheritance or things agreed upon in a pre or post-nuptial agreement that we talked about in another video, and those remain separate property.
Now, are retirement accounts separate or marital?
The money contributed during the marriage would fall under the marital property qualification. We always want to keep in our information general. So if you have specific questions about your case, please call our office and we'll schedule a consultation.
What about if a spouse brought money into the marriage? So that would be separate property. So they come and they get married, they have $100,000, and then they use that to buy a home that both spouses live in.
Well, it really depends. Court could deduct out that contribution 100% and then divide the remaining amount of the value of the property between the two spouses.
Okay, and how is the value of the home determined?
Usually they look at the equity. They take the market value of the home and subtract any liens or debts against it.
Do you always have to sell your house when you get divorced?
No, there are several ways that it can be divided. One spouse could buy the other out, or they could agree that one gets more value in something else, like a retirement fund, so one spouse can stay in the home. Or if they're children, they may agree that the custodial parent can stay in the home until the youngest child is 18.
Does alimony impact equitable distribution?
No, they're separate issues.
Okay, and what about if there was one spouse who worked and one who didn't?
Well, Georgia sees both spouses as equal, so a stay-at-home parent is seen as contributing as much as the spouse who worked outside the home.
So when you say fair and reasonable, does bad behavior impact the distribution at all?
It certainly could. There have been some court cases where one spouse cheated or abandoned the other one, so that impacted the division and distribution of the property.
And what about debts? Are they also distributed equitably?
Yes, they generally are.
Okay, I know that you can modify child support or alimony later if circumstances change.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something you can do with your settlement agreement, also known as your property distribution?
No, not the settlement agreement. So that is why it's really important. Somebody's calling me. That is why it's really important to be sure that your agreement is exactly what you intended to be before signing it. Thank you so much for watching today again, and tomorrow we'll talk about the timelines to obtain a fiancé visa. So we switch back to immigration. Thank you for watching right now, everyone, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.